welcome back to game number 2 of tonight's Riot Squad Scrims on a Wednesday. I am Abs, and as always I'm joined by the lovely Deathly Hallows Jammy.
Good evening.
And Jammy, what is our flight path doing today?
So we're going from the northwest down to the southwest, so it's quite a vertical flight path, but it's cutting off a lot of the map. So it'll be interesting to see whether teams stick to the western edge or try and get a vehicle and rotate round to the eastern edge.
And we already have a few teams jumping. Team 10 Zen, Team 25 Z Paradox, Team 21 Elusive. They are splitting, one going west, one going east. Looks like we might have a few going to 7E. Someone will go to George, as always. And I think somebody might even go to military.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Riot and
System Killers.
Going over to George, South George. Now, looking, we've got one team going over to Roswell. We've only got one team going into Chinky, which is the DH team, Team 16. We're going to have a couple of teams going over to Minibase.
Now, I am over at 7E, where we will find Team 21 Elusive. Oh, and Nix is going after Tula. Tula is almost literally on 2% health. And just manages to jump out the window and makes a run for it. We've got Naughty on the right-hand side. Oh, and that is a knock from Nix with a pistol.
I'm just over at Primorsk, where we've got Team 9, which is the Xeno Bots, and Team 7, which is Xeno Elite, both over at Primorsk. So third zone, and look at that, I mean, that is southern zone centred around Millibase. So the team that picks the northern route jumps early, you're going to be a bit of a disadvantage here.
Now, Humna is the last remaining member of Team 21, as Memraj and Tula have been knocked. They are trying to find Humna, but I think Humna is just trying to make as much of a run for it as physically possible. And that is it, with Humna being taken down, courtesy of Nix with a VSS.
Yeah, I'm just over Ferry Pier, where Team 24, ZPX, and Team 5, Penn All Boys, very close proximity, and 2 of ZPX have already been taken down, Nash and Ant-Man.
And I'm
Subi there on Penn Devious, gets some damage, didn't quite get the knock, but knocked down to about 20% health.
And I am still over at 70 with Team 8 Zen. Now they're going up against Team 17, the Elves. Both teams either side of the road, no contact being made as of yet.
So the 2 players from Team 24, ZPX, are pushing the full squad of Team 5, Penn. Devious and Cons both down to about 20% health. I'm guessing they haven't had a chance to get any meds yet. Cons gets knocked. I think actually Devious, I don't think they've even got any weapons. Devious there trying to punch Subi. But Subi there, getting headshots there on Cons. In fact, Wilo comes in with a DP28 just as Subi was trying to headshot with a Car 98 from about a foot away.
It's go big or go home.
Yeah. I don't know if it counts as sniping if it's from a foot away.
I'd probably just poke him.
So Penn Menace was actually looped in from over by the bridge, and he's actually coming back to help out. Because Penn Vish is currently on his own with Team 24 all over him like a rash. Team 24, it looks like they've got a couple of early kills, and now they're doing some looting.
That must be some painful rash if he gets taken down by a DP28.
Subi there's just been...
Oh, Menace is being fired at by the DP28, courtesy of Wilo.
Yeah, I just noticed that Subi got taken down, but I'm not sure who it was by.
Vish, Car 98.
It was, okay.
So Menace is just bandaging up, taking cover behind a tree. Subi is knocked. The ZPX Wilo on the right hand side at West is up with a DP28, taking shots towards Menace. Just about to throw a smoke to try and get some cover there. And that is Vish taken down by Wilo. And now Wilo returns to the corner to try and finish off Menace. And that is it.
There we go. we did get complaints that we didn't get the 1v4 from game 1. So I think Wilo should be happy that we got some coverage of that one there.
Tough.
Because 2 from ZPX up against the full squad from Penn, that's some good shooting.
And now what I will do is just move over to Deathly Hallows briefly as they are being taken down. And it is now Siren left. Please, oh God, why they're military?
I'm just up at Staburney where we've got Team 17, the Elves, up against Team 8, the Xenomortals. So Elf Waz has been knocked. Not sure if they can get to him at the moment, but they're not worrying about reviving at the moment. They're trying to be a bit aggressive and take down the Zen team.
Oh, and that is it with Siren being taken down by Riot. Get over it with an M762. Now, Jamo.
Yes.
Ridders did something there that I think is a pet peeve of mine.
He died.
Well, yeah. But other than that, it's something we all do. And it is when you're knocked, you will crawl towards your teammates.
Yeah.
The issue with that is that if your teammates were hidden, by crawling to them, you're revealing their location.
Yes.
Is there no other way around it?
Sometimes you have to effectively almost take one for the team. You know, you have to accept that you're knocked and you're going to stay knocked until they can either defeat the team in front of you or... sorry, I'm just watching Elf Klein here taking down Nix. So that's the end of that team. Unfortunately, they didn't get to Elf Waz. So there's a good example. Elf Waz stayed where he was and let the rest of the team get on and clear out the other team. So had Elf Waz tried to cross the road to where the rest of the team were, they'd have probably been thirsted anyway.
And that's the thing, like, I understand in your mind you're thinking, right, I need to get up, I'm knocked, I need to go to my team. But at the same time, you know, they're trying not to be killed themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you have to think of the team, think of the bigger picture, and you have to accept that, you know, you were knocked, and you might either have to wait if you're lucky, or it may just not be your night and you won't be revived. It depends on what the situation is with the team and what's going on in the gunfight. I'm just looking down on military base where the red zone is currently, right over Team 20, who are Vape Not Xeno with Bitu Bawafa from Team 20, Vape Not Xeno.
Right.
Yeah. I was watching because they were right in the middle of the red zone, not in a building. Currently got an M16 with I think a 3-scope, which is a great weapon. I love the M16. But no other team were right near them at the moment. At the moment, we might have some action in a minute in Chinky, where we've got Team 16 Deathly Hallows have been looted on their own the whole time. Team 20 Bitu Bawafa, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're running around with a pistol and they're just sort of firing into nothing.
But at least that is that puzzle solved, Jamie.
It is. So I think maybe if you switch to Team 16 or Team 10, they're either side of Pachinki, so that's Zen team against DH.
And I am now looking at Deathly Hallows Revolt as he just moves across. We do have Welshie to the right hand side. Welshie is a little bit low on health as KJ and Crazy are inside a vehicle.
I'm not sure what's going on with Team 20. Vape Rocky has just naded Bitu Bawafa, who was just looking around, shooting into the distance, shooting into nowhere with the M16 and the pistol. And Vape Rocky has actually just naded Bitu Bawafa.
Right, it seems as though what this is that he is a random player.
Right, so he's not actually a team member.
No, I don't think he is.
He's managed to somehow get the codes to get into the room, and so Vape Rocky is actually, fair play to Vape Rocky, is actually, somehow knows, is actually doing a beautiful dance, not
Good on him.
actually on camera. Vape Rocky is not reviving Bitty Bawafa. So I think what we'll do there is we will leave this. That is solved a mystery.
Oh no, I'm enjoying this. I'm hanging around.
Team 16. Look down to Primorsk on the map. Crazy has... I'm not sure where Crazy's going here. We've got Crazy and KJ in a buggy are heading out towards zone. I'm not sure where they're trying to rotate to. I don't know if they've had an argument with Welsh in Revolt. Perhaps just need some alone time. Now, right, Mystic heading over the bridge on the motorbike. Managed to get past Team 24's NPX, who look like he's trying to gatekeep. Now, Mystic is heading down towards Team 20, Vape. So they'll hear the motorbike. Whether they're trying, in fact, actually Mystic here has just rocked up on the motorbike, and I'm not sure if Mystic knows that Team 20 are there. No, Mystic is about to set a flare off, and has done. Not knowing that Team 20 are right round the corner. So we look from Vape Rocky's point of view, and yeah, Vape Rocky and Houdini here are just standing waiting behind one of the fake trucks, and they're just going to wait for this flare to come down, I think. Mystic may well think that they're totally on their own. Panda's now coming to join in. Kitten is currently on the bridge. Knocked. Kitten and Ghost have both been knocked. Ghost north of the bridge, Kitten on the bridge. Oh, sorry, underneath the bridge now. We've got Team 24 and Team 25 around the bridge. So we've got some action on the western bridge leading to the military base. Very typical when you get a military base finish.
Now, I am watching KJ and Crazy, and I genuinely have no idea what they're doing. It looks as though they might have been trying to find a vehicle.
Yeah. Ghost has just driven the buggy into the water. I assume to just try and get a few extra meters so that he can then swim the rest of the way over the channel, over to Military Base Island. A bird's eye view of the bridge because we've got loads of action going on. We've got some camping, we've got people trying to get across the bridge. We've got quite a few people knocked here. We've got at least, I think, 2 from Gen. Team 11 have been knocked and are currently underneath the bridge.
We've got Gen Temp trying to run in to get the revive. We have Corpse reviving Psycho. Kavesh is just driven down. We've got Riot Ghost in the sea.
Team 25 here are trying to hold the bridge. Team 24 getting some shots in.
Ooh. And Wilo has just got a knock on Psycho. It's the Paradox against the Paradox. 2 teams.
Yeah, they're taking lessons from Zen and DH here. A bit of clan on clan action. And in the meantime, we've still got Team 11, Gen, who are all now been revived, and they've got time to heal up while the action happens right above them.
Right Ghost is having a swim.
Yep. So yeah, Right Ghost drove his buggy into the water just to get the extra meters so he didn't get killed on the shoreline. So Team 24 have taken either side of the bridge.
Oh, Temp takes down Wilo with a DP.
Yeah.
And I think this is a prime example of how wrong a split can go. Because
yeah, absolutely. So Subi has got to risk everything to try and get over to Wilo.
And they are being pushed by the Gen team.
Yep. So a smoke to try and cover from Subi. But the Gen team, who had 2 knocked, got the revives in, and they've now on the push here over to ZPX. So they'll see the smoke, they know roughly where they are. I think Subi's going to get enough time just to get Wilo revived. And I don't know whether Wilo can get enough. Subi here has got people either side. Subi goes down. Wilo manages to get some heal. Now Welsh is taken down Nemeris.
And Wilo has just made a run for it into the next building. Gen Temps has been knocked.
So he wasn't running away, he was just trying to get a good tactical position. In fact, Nick there takes down Subi and Wilo. So we've got action here on the north of Military Base Island. Trying to see it, yeah. So they were actually, I see, sorry, Team 16 are on the very south of the headland on the northern mainland, and they were actually shooting south towards the island. And it looks like, I think they may have taken out, was that Salty Snakes they took out?
No, that was Zen.
Sorry, Zen.
That was Mustang Nemeris.
So I'm now spectating Team 2, Riot Ghost, and they're getting, I'm trying to see where he's shooting. No, he's shooting over to Team 3, the other Riot team. So we've got Riot Black against Riot Red across the valley over the buildings.
Yep, Get Over It is not. I think Goddess is just trying to get the revive. Oh no, Goddess has just been revived, sorry, by Killam. We've still got Get Over It, who is knocked on top of the hill. We have Team 2 still firing towards them.
So Get Over It at the top of the hill there, which means actually for where you said about someone knocked, heading to try and get revived by the rest of the team. So Goddess and Killam are actually sort of holed up in buildings, and they could play it fairly safe if they wanted to. But to get Over It revived, they would have to really run a risky run up the hill there and just open up to the other Riot team.
Getting a bit tongue-tied there, Jamie.
Yeah, I am a bit. It's really exciting action. I can't cope.
And we have Goddess inside the window there with an M24 firing towards both Panda and Misty. Oh! And with
the AWM there.
God, the AWM.
Yeah, so he did manage to get the flare crate and get all the goodies from it.
And is now putting it to very good use.
Way over to Goddess. Now reviving. So we also have Team 6 down on the southwest. Let me see. What if they've managed to come in? I think they came in. Yeah, they came in via boat round to the southwest of Millie Base Island. So they're in the blue at the moment, which isn't too bad for now. But if you look at the next zone, it is the northern edge of Military Base Island and the southern edge of mainland.
Ooh.
So Team 16, Deathly Hallows team, are the only ones currently in zone.
Oh, imagine if it was a water finish.
It would be a great thing to spectate.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I've been involved in one as a player, but I've never seen one happen.
Just everyone going for a swim.
Yeah, everyone just sort of bobbing around in the water, just waiting for the zone to break. So Team 6 are on their own. Team 14 are making their way to zone. Team 2 and 3, they're still fighting, but they're trying to make their way into zone as well. Team 22, Salty Snakes, they've got a couple of vehicles and they're making their way north in towards the zone. In the very west outside of zone still, we've got Team 25, ZPX. Have, I think, just taken down the Zen team. So they're all a bit battered and bruised, but Corpse, I'm sure, will be revived now. And there we go.
Now, strangely enough, the Gen team have come across the bridge and out of the zone. And, ooh! So Gen Fitzy.
So we've got Risk against the Elves over to the west. sorry, they're in the southern edge of zone, up on the north of Military Island. We've got Hardy trying to med up here, and so there was a couple of nades went out. So they kind of know roughly where each other is, and they're not far away. So Klein knocks Risk Heady. Klein was taking a wider angle than the other two of the elves. So we've now got 3-on-3 over here. And again, Team 16, DH, sitting pretty in the centre of zone.
And I am just over the bridge with Team 2 Riot. They are going up against Team 22 Salty Snakes.
Now, I said that Team 16 was sitting pretty. They're not doing that. They're actually being aggressive. They're shooting. They've just knocked Klein from the elves. So Risk Shav has been knocked as well.
We've now got Mystic trying to get a knock on Fuja there, who's now retreating back to the team. The zone is now coming in, so Riot will want to stay put and try and gatekeep both teams. 25 possibly, as well as Team 11 and Team 22 from getting into the next zone. And Panda is knocked.
I'm just looking at the next zone's broken, and we've gone... It's unlikely to be a water finish now, but it is going to be the northern coast of Minish Face Island. Team 16 are actually heading south. They're pushing where they can hear the gunfire and where the other knocks have come from. So we go. So I'm just spectating the right Ghost now, who are getting some shots. They're taking shots from ZPX there. Panda's been knocked. I think everyone's out of where the blue is at the moment, and people are trying to make their way towards zone. But the southern edge of the zone is actually getting very congested now.
And Right Mystic has almost been taken down, is now using a bandage and some boost to get some health back. Has no first aid kits, just has 5 bandages, and that is it.
So, Crazy knocked Silver. Risk Rapid has knocked Welshie and KJ. Shav has taken down Revolt and gets the killer's thirst as well. So we've got KJ knocked. We've got Crazy here. He's going to try and get the revive, but no, gets taken down by Risk Rapid. So DH go from having a very good position, but by pushing where they heard the shots, I think that may have been their undoing.
And that then leaves us with 8 teams remaining, 23 players. Jen Nick gets the knock on Fuji with a Mini 14. And Team Riot, Team 2, are now on a motorbike, starting to make their way into the next zone. 2 seconds to go, and then the zone will start moving in. The blue zone will make its push. And we have team number 2, Riot, just moving up the hill, trying to get into that zone. We have Team 25, Z Paradox on the left-hand side at Northwest, also making their way in to meet Team 17, which is Elf Klein, as well as 19, which is Risk. And then we have Rendezvous, we have Fusion Elite, and we have Jen Fitzy on the eastern side.
See, Jen were getting shots into Team 22 here, Salty Snakes, but they decided to actually head into zone rather than keep pushing some dangerous gunplay outside of the zone. So back over with Team 19 Risk. They've been in the centre of a lot of action. Team 19 against various different teams. So they're at the top of the hill in the compound, in the small compound. Sending shots out towards Riot as ZPX Vesh has taken out Mystic.
And now Panda is all that's left for Team 2. We still have the Paradox over at 350, moving to the eastern side of the zone.
Yeah, so we've got Salty Snakes here and Team 19, who are, sorry, Risk. they're getting into it, but also we've got the Gen team, Team 11, making their way up the hill towards Salty Snakes. So the zone's broken, and it's going to be a coastal zone. That is a very open zone. There's not a lot of cover in there. So we're down to 7 teams. Avery has fallen off something. I'm not sure.
Vehicle. Oh, and now Jen are pushing, and Avery's... Oh, grenade comes in from Fitzy and almost gets the finish on Avery. It is very unlikely that Fuji will make it in, and that is Fitzy getting another kill for the Gen team. Fuji's and Dacia now driving towards Team 23, Z Paradox, and stood no chance there and is taken down by Red Zone, courtesy of an AUG.
So we've now got on to spectate Team 6, FE. As they're going to try and make their way into zone, but they've got Team 23 Rendezvous, who are going to be gatekeeping them. Team 23 know where Team 6 is, but they have got other teams who are coming into the zone now. They're going to keep them busy as well. Team 11, Fitzy and Nick, they're going to try and make their way into what is becoming a very congested zone. It's going to be a very full zone, and we've got 5 teams still.
So now the Rendezvous team are being fired upon by the Risk Team of Team 19. We have Fitzy and Nick trying to move in, as well as the Paradox team of Kvesh, Kata, Psycho and Corpse just trying to move in. They're all inside zone. Team 11 still have to make their way in, as well as Team 6 Fusion Elite, who are going on the western side and will try and sneak up behind. Ooh!
Takes down Escape. There's a huge amount of action going here. Shav then takes down Red Zone. Corpse finishes off Jiggle.
Oh, Jamie, that was amazing. Watching from Kvesh's perspective.
Right up there, and now going straight over to Team 23.
Oh, wow.
And Rendezvous take them out. So they went from one battle with a full squad over in ZPX, straight over. They managed to rotate out of that, but they ended up straight in the lap of Rendezvous.
That is possibly one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Looking at Kvesh's perspective, turns around, and the next thing he sees is a bumper of a Jeep.
I was looking at more of an aerial view so I could see as they drove in.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was just going from the kill feed. It was like spectating the Grand National. Team 19 now have decided to make a move and actually head to zone. And I say this is a very open coastal area. They've got 2 vehicles, which I'm assuming they're going to try and use as cover, just to hold off before the other teams come in.
And whilst they're doing that...
Yeah, just try and hide their way in. Risk have all got low health, where they're starting to head. Supreme takes down Gen Nick though. So Gen Nick, they're fighting right on the edge of the blue zone here. Rendezvous, they're just waiting for Gen to be pushed. And FBI takes down Fitzy. Now Rendezvous, they're going to have to get Snout revived before the zone catches up with them. Takes out FBI, and the playground takes out. We've now got 2 teams. Kata takes down Shav and gets the Thirst as well. So we've got, I think that's a 2v4 now. Yeah, so we've got Rapid and Top Notch from Team 19, Risk Official, and we've got all of Team 25, ZPX still alive. It's a very open zone. And Team 19 are just about in zone. Team 25 rotating their way so they can try and be somewhere near the edge of zone. And you'll see that Team 25 have gone for a 2-on-2 split so they can try and flank the 2 players from 19. So we've got smokes going out just to try and hide the approach.
Now, realistically, Team 19...
Oh, ZPX. So top notch is taken down. So we've now got a 1v4. So we've got Risk Rapid here, who's currently snaking, just trying to make the way. And they've got 10 metres to go and 24 seconds to make it into zone. But I think that's the least of their worries with an aggressive Team 25 bearing down on them.
Grenade is thrown, it doesn't do any damage. We've got Kata pushing forward, Kavesh on the left-hand side, still throwing grenades towards that main tree. So it looks as though they don't know exactly where Rapid is.
No. Rapid there with taking out some nades. Putting some damage into Kavesh. So they did have ZPX had Psycho who's held back a bit. I assume got slightly higher ground. Guessing to just provide cover fire just in case. Whereas the rest, I mean, they can wait really. The nade there takes some damage out of Rapid, but it doesn't quite finish them off. Oh, getting closer. Down to about 40% health here, Rapid. Doing a good job of holding out. Applying the bandage, and there's the finish from Kavesh.
And there we have it, the end of game number 2, and in first place with 11 kills is the Paradox. In second we have Risk with 8 kills. In third we have Rendezvous with 10 kills. In fourth we have Jen with 7. In fifth we have Fusion Elite with none. In sixth we have Salty Snakes with 6. In seventh we have Riot with 8 kills. You have been watching the Riot squad scrims on a Wednesday. If you want to see more content, please follow the channel. Me and Jan will be back in just a moment for game number 3, the last game of tonight's scrims. So stay with us and we'll be right back.